was way too bulky.
Say more. You know what was involved in it. I don't.
Yeah. No. Well, LCTV gave us, some real good advice.
Ah,
And I
okay.
think it's really working well.
Good. Okay. I'm.
Yeah.
So in other words, the system they've installed for us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got the big screen in the meeting room.
Yeah.
And
Well, of
then,
course, I haven't seen that.
yeah, no. We're going through a little bad thing right now in that my brother-in-law has got COVID pretty bad.
Oh, boy.
And he's had all the shots.
Oh, yeah. I believe it.
And so Paula's been with him a lot. They put in their garden and stuff. So
Yeah.
we have to be tested on Sunday.
Okay.
Have this chat. Bye-bye. Ciao.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
just.
just a second, Louis. Can
Okay.
you want me to put the headphones on?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe the sound from this was bothering Ursula. It's not.
No, so we, I thought it was best I not go to the meeting tonight.
Yeah. You got to play it safe, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what you been doing? What you been studying?
Well, Jenny, Megan and I have been on committees for 10 years, and we never just sat down one-on-one across the coffee table.
Yeah.
And we did it a couple of weeks ago. She had Melissa forethought. She wanted to get me on the comprehensive plan committee,
Yeah.
which I have just said I wouldn't do. But I'm talking with her, but I noticed she gave me the opening part of last year's comprehensive plan to look at. And what struck me is, Louis, that we have the same situation now. What the comprehensive plan committee was handed 10 years ago to put or 12 years ago to put the current plan in place, is that packet is almost identical to the packet I was handled. That packet contained a picture of the parking lot as designed by the charrette. This year's packet is a picture of the parking lot as designed by the waterfront program.
Oh, that was 66.
So we have those two parallel.
Yeah.
I'd like to make the motion on this one because I don't know if you recall, I brought this up.
Yeah.
Back.
No, I've had it. So. Good. All right. Where's Mike's mine here? Here we go. This one on. All right. Would you all join us for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? We've got a good crowd tonight. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Okay. Republic for which it stands, under God, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
You have a pretty back, Matt.
We have Haas with us tonight, I see. How you doing, Haas? All
We're
right.
here.
Welcome, everybody. We've got a couple of public hearings this evening. We'll get those out of the way. Did everybody have a chance to sign in? Cheryl, we all signed up in the sign-up sheet and everything, so, okay. Well, good. So first thing we need to do is we need a moderator for the public hearing this evening for.
No, we need a public moderator for the special town meeting.
For the special town meeting, sorry, I'm gonna get, Cheryl's gonna be playing two hats back and forth for me, so we're gonna do the special town meeting, what I meant to do, so,
Second.
and, we're doing that second?
Yeah, we gotta have public hearing first.
You have the hearings first and then the meeting, so. Let me get my brain switched back over, everybody, sorry, so. All right, so we'll open up with the public hearings. We have two this evening, Hodgson Street drainage improvements, which I see several people probably here for that. And then we have a liquor license application as well. And with Hodgson Street, we're gonna have a briefing on that. Matt, are you gonna bring us up to speed a little bit? I think everybody knows Matt. We got rid of him once, but he hasn't left the building yet.
That's
So-
right. I just keep,
here.
I'm this guy that just keeps hanging out here at Town Hall. Yeah, it's good to see you all. I am the capital projects and grant manager for the town for another day. And
Yeah.
I've been overseeing the Hodgson Street CDBG project. And well, it's approximately a $206,000 project. 86,000 of that is for the storm drainage system. And that's really the focus of the public hearing tonight, since that is the amount that we have requested CDBG provide, Community Development Block Grant Program provide. So Andrew is here. This is the other Andrew Hedrick.
Andrew Hedrick.
From Gartley and Dorsey. And he provided the board and the public with an overview of the entire project just a few weeks ago. It was the end of March, actually. And I've asked him to just make a few remarks and focus mainly on the storm drainage improvements that are going to be made.
Great.
So,
Yeah, sounds good. We'll bring, if Andrew's ready, we can bring him on live here. Oh.
Absolutely. Good evening, everybody. My name is Andrew Hedrick. I'm a senior civil engineer at Gartley and Dorsey Engineering and Surveying, located both in Camden and in Damariscotta. So we have reviewed Hodgson Street on previous occasions. So I was going to kind of summarize what we had gone through with the town to kind of make this brief and kind of get to the point. But in summary, back in 2009, the town of Damariscotta contracted us to review Hodgson Street, assess the current conditions of the road, beginning at the intersection of Pleasant Street and extended about 500 feet east towards the cemetery. During our observations, we observed a couple of significant deficiencies that included the road being too narrow, and primarily the stormwater system on the road was insufficient for any drainage on that section. The ditching is basically non-existent anymore. The culverts are plugged. During our site visits, actually, I observed standing water, standing ice on there. I made visits both in the fall and in the winter. In the one I went during the winter, there was 6 inches of ice frozen to the road, further narrowing the road, causing an immense amount of erosion. And with all these storm events that we get in these freeze-thaw cycles that we're experiencing, it created quite a bit of erosion down the side of the roads, taking out some of the front lawns, the edge of road. It's actually undermining the pavement in several locations. And it forces the cars into a narrow corridor. And there are all the cars, plow trucks, pedestrians, bicyclists, anybody that's on that road is all sharing a very narrow 9 to 12 foot wide road for that entire section there. So after reviewing that, we recommended that the town rebuild about a 400, 500 foot section of Hodgson Street. And it would include a new closed drainage system that would drastically improve how the water is conveyed. It's going to go into a closed pipe. We're going to pick it up with ditching, feed it into a few catch basins, a closed drainage system that will empty out at the bottom of the hill there at Pleasant Street. And in addition to kind of rebuilding and taking care of parking needs for all the residents along that section, we've been working closely with them to make sure we accommodate their concerns and needs as well. But ultimately improve drainage, widen the road, and rebuild the 500 foot section going up towards the cemetery.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns for either Andrew Hedrick or Matt Canfield, anything this evening? Yeah, just give us an introduction. And...
Hi, everyone. I'm Mike Lee. I'm in the back of Hodgson Street. My question is, I've got 2 questions. My first one is, can you please stake the edge of where the road will be built? And the you've staked the right of way. Is it possible to have an idea of where the actual road will be put? And my second question is, how many trees are going to be cut down for this project, and can we plant some more to replace them? As a final remark, I'd say this looks like a great drainage project. I really like the look of the drainage and the road itself. So thank you.
There'll be no significant trees removed during this project. There are a couple of cedar hedges I see down there towards the middle of the improvements that are close. They may be able to be saved actually, so we don't anticipate there'll be any improvements, any major trees or even insignificant trees that will need to be removed or replanted for this area. We've staked out the right-of-way location along that section just based on the fact we know exactly where that is. We're still refining plans. We're still working on exactly where the road is. But essentially, if you walk out to the edge of the current road and measure 4 or 5 feet towards your properties, that would well encompass the potential edge of road. For the most part, the edge of road is moving anywhere from 3 to 6 feet towards the right-of-way line, or widening, if you will. And we tried to balance that the best we could. So on your side of the road, I know which property yours is. You're about 3 to 4 feet actually along that upper section, and then it tapers down as it gets towards the end of your property there.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah. Anyone else? Any questions from the board?
No.
Lou's with us remote. I don't know if Lou has any questions, or.
I have no questions at this point.
Okay, all right.
I do have a question. This
sorry, I
is
didn't see
Jean Moon, representing the Public Safety and Accessibility Collaborative. What is the timeline, do you think, for this much needed project? And glad to see that it's happening, but we would be interested in the timing of it.
A great question. Yeah. You want to take that, Matt, or you want to?
I'll take a stab at that. I think optimistically, we're probably looking at the fall at the earliest, at this coming fall, and more than likely next spring for construction. It's a small project, relatively speaking. However, we all know that the contractors are extremely busy right now. I'm not sure what the supply situation is, but we know that the prices are very high on supplies. We will, after we complete this phase 2, which this public hearing and special town meeting are a part of, we will submit the final application, and we will be informed of whether or not we got the funds in about a month, the 1st of July. And then we'll know whether we can proceed. But that's pretty far into the season for us to expect bids to go out, and then us to get a bidder, a contractor willing to bid yet this year. Andrew, do you have any other insights on that?
No, I think you're spot on with the contractor availability. They are very busy right now. But once the funding is secured and we're confident, I think what we can do with the bidding process is we can give them multiple windows to provide bids for. So in the event that we could slip into a contractor's available window, we could do so here in the fall. But again, I do think it'll most likely be a spring project for next year that we could add to the contractor's list as soon as that money is secured. So I don't think we should delay getting it out. Let's get it out to bid. As soon as we're ready to go, get on their list. If we can get somebody in the fall, excellent. If not, at least we'll be high on the list for next year.
Great. That gives us several markers. And we all will hope for the best. It's a much needed project. It's great. Good to see it moving.
Thank you. If there's no other comments or questions, concerns on Hodgson Street drainage improvements, we'll move on to, we have a liquor license application. Oh, sorry. Yes. Yeah. Just we'll grab you the mic there, and if you can introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jessica Soroy on 70 Church Street. I just have one quick question regarding tying into the drainage. There's going to be, I'm personally doing a construction project to raise my barn. and we're gonna be doing drainage, that I'm wondering, there was a conversation at one point, I believe with Andrew, that we would be able to tie into that. And what I'm wondering is if it has to tie in, that work needs to be done before the road goes in or after the road goes in.
Is that something Andrew can answer for us?
Really, that's gonna come down to the Public Works Director. He will need to review that, make sure what they allow in those sections to tie in. A lot of towns handle it differently, quite honestly, if they're gonna allow a connection for an under drain. It seems like the system should have capacity. I always recommend the town allow people to tie in their footing drains and any other site drainage just to be able to clean up those neighborhoods. But absolutely, this will have to happen in advance of what you're doing for your drainage, unless you have the ability to put it into a dry well or drain it to the surface for the time being until it can be collected and further extended. So hopefully you can look at what you're doing and break it into phases and complete your final connections once the town is working on that. And then you can hopefully work with a contractor that's building the road to have him kind of make the final connections there.
Okay, and originally, I think we had talked about that the construction worker or the construction crew that's gonna be doing that work could contact you to coordinate and any engineering component. Is that still correct?
Yeah, so what will need to happen is you will need to coordinate directly with the contractor that the town hires. And they have to work with you independently of the town so that you're paying for those services to make those extra connections, essentially.
Correct.
I'll
Correct.
gladly help coordinate that and help work through all that once things are moving with construction, and we'll make sure that you're in contact with the contractor that the town selects.
Okay, last question is, in front of the existing driveway that I have currently, it looks on the plans, and I just need confirmation that I'm reading it correctly, that the underground drainage is going directly across the existing driveway. So that drainage is going to continue. It's not going to stop or be interrupted through that driveway area where the
No.
blacktop is on my property.
You're absolutely correct. So that's
Okay.
it's actually an under drain pipe. It's a perforated pipe. So we're actually going to pull groundwater out of the road section as well as convey it between the catch basins. There's a catch basin located to the
Above.
east and one located to the west.
Okay. And I think the only other last question regarding the roadway, are we still confirming that it's going to be an 18-foot roadway? Is that correct? Okay.
That's what we have proposed. That's what's on the plans. Yes. And as discussed during our on-site meeting, we reviewed painting the lane, basically creating a 12-foot wide travel lane and painting 3-foot wide shoulders on the side to kind of funnel vehicles to the middle and give a pedestrian passage on the side and basically keep some calming measures in place out there.
Okay. Okay. And that's it. I think that for me at this time. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you. Yeah, if there's no other questions, comments, concerns on Hodgson Street drainage improvements, we'll close the public hearing on that topic, and we'll open the public hearing on a liquor license application this is for Weatherbird. Do we have anybody here tonight represent? I thought maybe somebody's over there. So yeah. So the new owner. Yeah. So yeah.
Microphone. Matt?
We'll make you introduce yourself. That's all.
Sure. My name is Sarah Levangie, and I am the new owner of Weatherbird.
And the name, it's
You've
still
ever
under,
seen-
sorry, it's still under Weatherbird. I see you have
It
another name
is.
on here too, but it's still.
Yes,
Weatherbird,
yeah, doing business as Weatherbird.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. Does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns regarding the liquor license for Weatherbird? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing on the liquor license for Weatherbird.
Well, thank you.
All right. And at this point, we're going to, move on to our special town meeting. And work straight here. So we have a warrant for special town meeting, and we've got an elected a moderator first here, I believe. Do we have
Motion
recommendations
for
for-
Lorraine.
look at that. Do we have three? These in? These are all secret ballots here. Nobody knows what's on them. We'll fold thumbs up, make it look all good. Yeah. So
Lorraine.
Lorraine, you got it, Lorraine.
Lorraine, unanimous. Okay, swear me in, girl. Get that up. Swearing is my specialty.
Did we lose our? Did we lose our voting crowd already for the first town meeting?
Oh, that's right there.
Right.
Oh, I need my glasses.
Yeah. Sorry, we got enough here.
Hey. I, Lorraine Thirty, do swear I will support the Constitution of the United States and of this state, so long as I shall continue a citizen thereof, so help me God. I do swear I will faithfully discharge to the best of my abilities the duties incumbent on me as moderator of this special town meeting, according to the Constitution of the United States, the laws of the state of Maine, and the charter and ordinances of Damascata, so help me God. Okay. Okay,
Done this before.
once or twice. Usually, but not so big a crowd. Okay, all of you that are Damascata residents, you've gotten little green cards. And if you're not a Damascata resident and you want to speak, you have to vote on that. So I think most of you are residents, maybe not Jason, but the rest of us. Article 1 was to choose a moderator. We done that. Article 2, shall the town commit to vote to approve a community development block grant project development application for the following program and dollar amount. Program Hodgson Street Storm Drainage Reconstruction and the amount of $86,800. You'll have a motion to approve. In a second? Okay. Any discussion on that? All right, all hearing none. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? All right, Article 2 passes. Article 3, shall the town commit a total of $122,800 in FY 2022 and FY 2023 capital reserve funds for the Hodgson Street reconstruction project? Such amount shall also serve as a local match for the Hodgson Street Storm Drainage System CDB grant. I have a motion to approve Article 3. Everybody at once.
Everybody.
In a second? All right. Motioned and seconded. All those in favor? Oh, I'm sorry. Any discussion on Article 3? All right. All those in favor? Oh, Haas is right. Hi,
House
Haas.
is waving over there.
Yes, dear. Are you discussing or voting?
Just voting.
He's voting. Okay. All those in favor? All right. All those opposed? All right, Article 3 passes, and we have a motion to adjourn the special town meeting. So moved, second.
All right.
No
we good?
objection. It's all yours, Darrell.
Thank you, Lorraine. So with that, we're going to open the June 1st, the Town of Damascata Select Board meeting to order. We've got a couple of add-ons here. I'm going to grab, Cheryl, do you have before we get into motions and minutes and all that? We've got, all right, look at that. We've got just that one. All right. Usually, awesome. All right. So we've got some hot off the press.
Oh, real quick, sorry.
Yeah.
Andrew is staying online. Thank you very much, Andrew, and thank you, Matt. Andrew is staying online in case anybody had any questions with the Miles Street project.
Oh, thank you for running. Yeah.
So if anybody's got any questions, otherwise we can let Andrew go and,
I don't think.
Miles or Church
or Belvedere.
or Belvedere.
In Egypt.
I don't have any right now that I can come to mind, which I think there are some, but I think we'll, after the moving things along, we'll let Andrew go for this evening. And
I'm all for that. Let's
we'll
move
come
along.
back in. Andrew, you
All right,
want
thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
So,
Hi, Andrew.
all right, so we'll move on. We've got a couple agenda items we're gonna kind of add in here a little bit. So we did, Cheryl just handed me hot off the press. We have the draft of our, the annual report.
Market.
We didn't say you could leave yet. Nobody made a motion. So I just, if everyone can bear with me a moment, I'd like to take a look, and this is the first time we're seeing this, and I'm gonna read through the dedication. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Bear with me. Oh, all right. So this year, the Damascotta Board of Selectmen have chosen to dedicate this year's annual town report to Matt Lucas. Well, Matt embarked on the newest phase of life as a retiree on April 7th, 2022, after 10 years as Damascotta's town manager. A move to Maine from Colorado was part of his life plan, and in 2012, 2 to 3 years from retirement, Matt came to Damascotta for an interview. Staying in a local bed and breakfast, he took a walk down Main Street one evening and immediately felt that this was where he belonged. At his interview the next morning, he told the Board of Selectmen that even if they didn't hire him, he was going to become a Damascotta resident anyway, because he already loved it. That sounds like kind of a threat there, isn't it? Yeah. 10 years later, he finally found his way to retirement. A retirement party was held on his last day, and 3 days later, he was back in the office and ready for a new temporary interim position as project and grant manager. Driven by his dedication, Matt has a loyalty and commitment to this community that is immeasurable. He has secured many state and federal grants, as well as private donations to help fund town projects and ease the taxpayers' burden, including the Bristol Road and Elm Street sidewalks, the public restroom construction, and the reconstruction of the municipal parking lot, to name a few. In May 2022, at the Lincoln County Regional Planning Commission annual meeting, Matt received a certificate of recognition for his leadership and public engagement on a number of key town projects. Page 2. An avid sailor, Matt loves any kind of boat he can get his hands on, seaworthy or not. He can fix loving a purpose. The bigger the project, the better. If you let him, he'll show you pictures of the progress and tell you about the deal he got. Soon you'll see him on his freshly repaired, restored vessel. Some of Matt's little known favorites include binge watching old Perry Mason episodes, listening to NPR on the radio, the Foo Fighters, and 60s music. And much to his wife's chagrin, his favorite Lithuanian sausage, which he stocks up on when he visits his family in Prospect, Connecticut. That sounds pretty good. You can bring us any in. Oh. He can also be found kayaking on Paradise Pond in Damascotta, sometimes with his trusty first mate, Hazel. The office staff may say he has a slight chocolate addiction, substituting it on occasion for lunch or dinner on meeting nights. Matt will soon embark on his retirement job as a guide with Maine Kayak this summer. Ask him about his parting gift from the office. Matt and wife Julie were married in 2006. I believe Julie's back here in the corner here hiding on us. So
She's really good for my last meeting.
They share a blended family of 3 children, Hillary, Tom, and Lindy, and 2 grandchildren, James and Bianca, who fondly refer to him as Pappy. 4-legged children, Hazel, Cooper, and Moxie, round out the clan. Matt could also be found volunteering countless hours with the cemetery committee, helping secure and or repairing old stones or landscaping in some of the more remote locations to help make them more accessible. It's apparent to anyone who knows Matt Lucas that he considers serving his community and being a good citizen a primary goal. On behalf of the community he calls home, the Board of Selectmen would like to thank Matt for all he's given to the town of Damascotta over the past 10 years. So, thank you, Matt.
Hey.
Stay right here.
I am speechless.
Stay right here. I can grab, Mark and Tom here. All right, so you thought it was over yet. We gave you that little party.
Uh-oh. It's a paddle.
So we get to this box. We're gonna let you open this up and take a look here with the town and the board are
That's wonderful.
Oh, it wasn't far off.
for those of you viewing at home, this is a handmade kayak paddle by Sean Tennant.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's been engraved with the town seal and Matt's years of
This is a
service.
treasure.
So. Something fitting, and we're gonna give Cheryl credit for coming up with the idea here, so.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah, I thought I'd never be able to afford one.
Well, you still can't, don't worry. Well, we took it, yeah, we took it out of your retirement package, stipend, yes. Stuck that in on board. Yeah.
No, that's-
Yeah. They do beautiful.
I could actually charge him criminal mischief if he puts that in the
We figured you might want to
Yeah.
find a place to hang that or something.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
thanks.
We thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Thought we'd give you something fitting,
Yeah.
so, yeah. Oh,
And you've been oblivious to it for weeks.
I am.
Patty
For
was
the
here.
first time.
Patty, Patty.
Dedication was to Patty.
Patty's here for the dedication, but she didn't have, so.
Happily. I can't think of a
All
better person to trade it for.
At the time, we thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's been my pleasure. Yeah.
You show off your new panel hanging on the wall.
Yeah, well, I've appreciated you all giving me the opportunity to work in a place that I love. You know, there's just so many, I mean, no one can do this job by themselves, and we're fortunate we've got Mary Ellen and groups like the Public Safety Accessibility Collaborative to work with, because otherwise we couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So
That's great people.
thank you, especially to the Board of Selectmen.
Sorry to wrap it.
Well, that's very cool. Thank you.
Oh, all
right.
Matt. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Appreciate it very.
Thank you.
Thanks for letting
You've
us
given
back
us that for all
home.
these years. Yeah.
I invited my wife to the special town meeting tonight. I thought.
Date night?
I was hoping to take him to dinner now and, celebrate the last hurrah.
Oh.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Goodbye, you guys.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Good night.
All right. Get your stuff squared away. I don't know. How do we follow that up now? What do we do here? I'm all discombobulated. So that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good show.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, we'll try to get some business done now. So we'll do the application. We want to do the liquor license one.
Yep.
Everybody's gone. Yeah. There's nobody waiting at this point for it anyway, right? Yeah, she's gone. So.
Liquor license, you guys got a motion. Act on it.
Yeah, let's knock that one out of the way. Sorry. So I'll make a motion to approve the new liquor license for Weatherbird.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Mark. Any discussion? Lou, all those in favor? All right, we're good. Four of us there. Okay. Everybody get a chance to see the minutes of the regular meeting? The last May 18th.
Yep.
We're good there. Okay, we'll make a motion to move the May 18th minutes.
I'll second.
Mark seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor? All right, we've got Lou as well. Thank you, Lou. All right, payroll warrants. We have a couple payroll warrants, 60. Can we do 64, 67 together?
Mhm.
Yep. All right, I'll move those for you.
Second.
All right, thank you, Tom. Tom seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Good, we got Lou as well, four of us. And we have, let's see, accounts payable, 65.
Make a motion, we 165.
All right, thank you, Mark.
Second.
Tom seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, we're good. Lou, yeah, Lou's got his hand up. We're good. All right, we have accounts payable number 66. I'll make a motion on to move number 66.
Second.
Thank you, Tom. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
There, yep, three,
I
and
abstain.
Mark's gonna abstain. It's the Hager warrants. And we have accounts payable AP number 68.
I'll make a motion on AP 68.
All right.
Second.
Tom seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Mhm.
Good, and we got Lou. That's all of us. All right. How long? So any presentations we don't have, but we've got something from, or else you had something snuck in, Cheryl?
Nope.
Yep.
Nope, just
So-
Jason.
We just want to push him to the end. Do we skip? Can we skip?
Yeah, we can.
Do everything ahead of?
He's got
the
nothing
chief,
else
or-
going on.
Yeah. All right, Chief, come on up. You've got something for us this evening. Yeah.
Brought his water.
All right.
That's not water, that's scotch.
Let's check
All
that
right.
out.
Good evening, Chief.
Good evening, folks. How is everybody?
Good.
Good, we're good.
So I have two things tonight. I think you got both. I'd like to do maybe the grant application first, just because you guys are always happier when I tell you about all the money I'm gonna get versus what I'm gonna spend. That's okay.
Yeah.
I believe I sent everything out to Cheryl, and I apologize for the last minute document here, but essentially the Mid-Coast Council of Governments, there was a large grant amount that was applied for through Senator King and Collins at the tune of $900,000, and it essentially was going to fund multiple different police agencies in a technology type grant. The only specifics to this grant right now is that it can't buy a car, and it can't buy firearm related items. So for me, I applied for 30,000. That's a general number. It may be 26,000, it may be 22,000, but essentially what we've done is I'd like to get 2 new laptops for our cruisers. These laptops are $4,500 a piece, and we always buy used refurbished ones for 1,000 or 1,100. We don't even get 2 years out of them. And then, of course, with our technology, the amount that we pay per hour to have these things fixed, it turns out that after a couple of times of them being broken, that we end up almost essentially paying what we would have invested in another used computer. The really important thing is that times have changed in how we do our job on the road, in that dispatch, we still utilize dispatch, but they're super short staffed. So other than us calling a traffic stop in on the radio or getting a call dispatched to us over the radio, everything is done on our mobile data terminals, which is our laptops. I mean, all the 27s, all the bail checks, everything we do ourselves in the car. So these are as important, if not almost more important, than what we utilize in our computers in the office. Just because the patrol officer is out there nonstop every day.
Well, it's an office.
That's
on
his
wheels.
office. It is,
Right,
exactly.
yeah.
So, yeah. So anyway, so we want to get 2 new MDTs. We want to get 6 new towers. So we want to replace all of our computers in the PD. We just replaced one for Joanna, I believe. And all the others are 5 to 6 years old. And as we all know, technology just falls apart. So we're piecemealing everything slow. We want to get 2 new handheld radar units, and they're cordless, not corded. And then we want to get a new speed sign, because we're having nothing but problems with our current speed sign. And we put it up, and we just spent $800 for batteries. And the very first time we put it out, the software failed. And now we're chasing our tail with software, and they want us to send the sign back. They won't pay any shipping, and they won't tell us if it's warranted or not until they get it and assess it.
How old is that sign?
That's my previous chief. So 7 years, I would say at least. So if you total all that up, it totals about 26 to 27,000. I tacked on an extra 2,500 to 3,000 to pay for all of the updates. Is going to, the new laptops, the new computers, that all costs money to get them all programmed and ready to go. Zero money to us if it's approved. There's no town match at all. So if we get it, we get to buy everything. They send us the money. And so I think that's pretty exciting, because this is stuff we have to replace regardless. But I ask that you guys allow us the opportunity to submit it and see what we can do.
We can find another source of funding for anything. It's
Yeah,
it's
well,
a no brainer.
these are big deals. They're big purchases. And unfortunately, we're no longer in a time where we write anything down. Other than that officer that gets out of the car quickly and jots something down, everything's done through computer. And in fact, it's become so computerized that we no longer even send paper to the DA's office for court anymore. Everything gets uploaded through our computers and put onto a share file.
Yeah.
Videos, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's so important. They've almost stifled our ability to do anything without electronics now, without good internet capabilities and good computers. So that's what I'm asking you folks today, is to afford me that opportunity to try to get us some free money.
No,
No, it's an amazing. Yeah, yep. You have to motion. I've got your little cheat sheet.
yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve allowing Chief Warlock to apply for the Mid-Coast Council Technology Grant.
I'll second.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor? Send that one through.
Thank you.
Have at it. It's
Number
money.
2, this is me now asking for money. So
Yeah,
I gotta
I
get the easy stuff out of the way first.
Yeah.
No, so Main Leaps is Maine Law Enforcement Accreditation Program. I've spoken to Tom about this at length before. When we originally started this 2 years ago, The concept is Diego Public Safety is a group of ex-law enforcement officers that have retired and from multiple different agencies across the state. And they've started a program where they do trainings and they offer policy revisions. Well, policies are the number one thing that gets us sued or keeps us out of lawsuits at the end of the day. For all of you who have not seen my policy book, it's approximately 6 inches thick. There are upwards of 50 policies in there. I have to keep 12 up to date every year that are mandatory policies through the Maine Criminal Justice Academy. And when I say keep them up to date, I mean, as you can all imagine, after the George Floyd incident, there have been massive change to our policies and procedures. So it's time consuming. So this accreditation program, this Diego Public Safety program used to be, it was a $5,000 expense. It was a 2-year contract. They come in and they rewrite your entire policies. They have the best national policies. They've sifted through here. They make them electronic. They put them into a Power DMS type program. They give them to you. It doesn't totally negate me from having to do it. I still have to help fine tune these, but these are the best of the best. So I was raising money for this and I had some fundraisers going. Well, that has fallen through. And in the last 2 years, Diego became so busy that they went from 5,000 to 7,500. So had I even been able to raise the 5,000, which I didn't, I still would have had to make another 2,500. And then there's a $3,000 accreditation fee as well. So what this accreditation fee is basically they're gonna get us accredited. Accreditation basically means we are the premier agency. We've met all the policies and procedures manual standards. We've met all the evidence collection standards. We've met all of the training standards. And they basically say, here's your paperwork. Maine Municipal reduces our insurance debt by, I think we said about $1,500 a year. And that could get better. I don't know. But one of the things I wrote in there, and this is really a key thing, I was at a Maine Chiefs training and it was really great because they had a panelist of police chiefs that handled officer involved shootings in the department in the last year. They were accredited agencies. The very first thing they said, and they have no fight in this game. They're not advertising for Diego Public Safety. The very first thing they said was, it was incredible how much easier it was being accredited because they wrote the policy on what to do in that incident. And it goes on, you can electronically put it on your phone. So as you're going to the incident, you can literally type in, policy, officer involved shooting policy, and it gives you the most up-to-date policy and what to do. And then it's a 2-year contract. So if in the next 2 years, policies change, which they will, they rewrite those policies, they send them to our Power DMS, and all we have to do is sign off on it. The program itself is amazing because my staff has the ability electronically to get on there and it tracks that they read it. It tracks when they sign it and it goes into a file along with all their training. So if we get audited through the Department of Labor, we can say, hold on, click, 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 click. Here's all the training. Here's all their signatures. And then also people aren't perfect. If they screw up, if an officer screws up on the street, we're going to get sued. But we're not going to get sued for failing to train because we have documents that say, this is the policy. You should have followed the policy. You sign that you understand the policy. So not only are we going to save $1,500 a year, but I can assure you that if something bad happens and we can cover our butt, that could prevent us from maybe being sued significantly more. I will have the money at the end of the budget. I'll be scraping, but I can take it out of my training line. I can steal some money where I need to steal it. Yes. I'm not asking for you guys to give me anything extra. I'm asking if you guys will allow me to utilize what I have above and above the 5,000 that I need to get permission from you folks to spend and allow me to enter into this contract. Will be a year before we get accredited.
Gotcha. Is it nationally recognized too?
So it's no. So there's a CALIA. So you've got Maine Leaps, and then you have a CALIA. We couldn't do a CALIA. It's $35,000 to $40,000 just to get
for the national.
But the national version, yeah, and that's more so large agencies, Portland PD, Bangor PD. This is basically a more reasonable, doable standard for a small agency that's not going to put 40,000 into their accreditation program. This didn't used to exist. And then enough of the smaller chiefs like myself complained and said, well, that's not fair that these big, huge departments with $1 million budgets can become accredited and get all of this, this golden halo around them that they're the best of the best, when I'd love to do that, but I can't. I don't have the staff to do that. I don't have people. So That's what this came into play. They come in and they'll reassess our entire evidence collection process, which we're actually really spot on with that. And they'll come in and take care of all of our training requirements and what we need. And they give you a list of what we need for training. Right now, and like I sent you guys, and again, I apologize for last minute, but right now there are currently, I believe it's actually 13. Bath PD is in here as well. Maine accredited programs. And being the police chief, District 6 representative, I get to talk to all these people and they rave about it. And I don't blame them. When you can have things digitalized and it's right at your fingertips and you can click on a button. And if you guys are somebody from the citizens come in and say, I need to know what this policy is, I don't have to give them a policy book where they have the opportunity to see things in that policy book that they shouldn't see, or that they have to fight through.
You find it. Yeah.
Right. I can just say, hold on a second. You want me to email it to you? Do you want me to print it off? So huge advantage.
And you'll be able to, I'm assuming, with this, you'll be able to hold your staffs accountable for the training. You can,
Yeah.
so you can check them off. So you need to
Absolutely.
do this training, get it done, it's checked off and it's all,
So right now in the state of Maine, there's a required training you have to do from the Maine Criminal Justice Academy. It's so many hours. It's case law update, Maine law update, all this other, whatever it may be, whether it be crisis negotiation, hostage negotiation, whatever. So we pay $80 a person right now to take this training every year. Plus we have to pay them to do the training. It's an online training through what used to be JPMA. Dirigo offers it, I think, for $45. They're going to take over the industry when it comes to law enforcement because they're specific to law enforcement. So we're going to save a little bit of money. Not that that's extreme, but they're a one-stop shop and they're just going to continue to grow. So I'd love to get in on the ground floor if you guys allow me to and get these policies in place. I would love to be accredited as a 5-man agency. That would speak volumes. I mean, we already know that we're awesome. We've got a great, but we have a great department, right? I mean, we've been fully staffed. We haven't lost a single person.
Yeah.
We haven't had an officer complaint.
That also
in
brings a
years.
level of
You've been
professionalism.
trying to do this for a long time, because I remember talking to you about a year ago. about
Yeah.
this, And the current situation is untenable. You can't continue with the manual policies like that.
No, and the problem is so we all know, and I'm not patting myself on the back, but I'm not the chief that sits in the office. You all know that. I'm the chief that's out in the public. I'm the chief that's going and dealing with calls still. I may not have to because I have a patrol officer, but I still have a genuine interest and I still want to have my thumb on the pulse, right? Even if I sat in my office 4 days a week, 10 hours a day, that's a massive policy book. And then by the time I finally get it all done and revised, I can tell you, it's not going to be national level.
It's going to be
Right,
outdated.
right.
It's going to be outdated. I'm going to have to go back again.
Well, they keep you, so in that 2-year contract,
Yep.
right? If things change during the 2 years, they update it.
Correct.
It's an ongoing update.
Yes, and here's the other advantage. So Power DMS, I'm going to absorb that cost. That is a computer program. They make 2 different levels. They make a basic accreditation level, which is going to cost me about $550 a year. I'm not asking for that. I'm going to take that out of my training line because I have it in there. That's going to be the program we put all this in. But being part of the Maine Chiefs Association, so Maine Chiefs writes a lot of these policies. So they use Power DMS. So anytime there's a new policy, they will update that on Power DMS specifically. So I can go in there every single day and click on new revisions and then be able to steal that and put it right into my folder because Power DMS is, again, that's the program that everybody's going to go to as well. Yeah, well, essentially,
That's what I was thinking.
but that's exactly what it was for. The Maine Chiefs entered into a contract with Power DMS and actually gave us a heck of a buy for the Maine Chiefs of Police Association. And that was their selling point is, guys, listen, how great will it be to have one centralized area if in the event of a massive policy change that comes down the pipeline, I can tell you that there were policy changes that happened in 60 days, major overhauls of your policies that I can't do that in 60 days.
Right.
We didn't even know about it
If you
because
didn't know about
from the
too,
time it
you're
gets from the
right.
California West Coast to little Maine and to my department, we're 30 days in. So now I'm frantically, and these aren't policies that we needed to revise. Some of these are new, racial profiling, bias profiling, important things that we don't necessarily have problems with in Maine, but because of those issues that took place in the West Coast, now we're writing brand new 5-page stuff. Not that I'm not smart, but that takes a ton of time and to revise it and get it going. I'm not, I may not meet a deadline. It'd be really great if I can go click, drag, and refresh.
Right.
Yeah. And listen, Dirigo will continue for $3,000 every 2 years to enter into contracts. I'm not asking to do that. I'm not saying that I won't come to you in 4 years to say, hey, there's been a lot of revisions, maybe we should do this. But I think with the main chiefs contract that we have with Dirigo for 5 years, I think we should be safe after we do this originally. I shouldn't have any need to recontract with Dirigo because it's already going to be computerized.
Right.
It's already going to be categorized and it's already going to be in the computer system. And I'm just going to be able to steal these policies.
Yeah.
Borrow.
Borrow, excuse me.
Rent.
Yeah.
Well, I'll make a motion to allow Chief Warlick to contract with Dirigo for policy revisions and accreditation and to spend $10,500 from his current budget for the contract.
I will second that.
You give that one to Lou or you want to take it?
No, Lou can.
All right, Lou's got that one. Give it a second.
Thank you.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
No
All
brainer.
right, we're good. Yeah, thank you, Chief.
For his grant of 30,000.
Yeah.
So that he
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He knows how that nets out. He's not.
Yeah.
I'm not wicked
And
dumb.
just
Thank
gotta-
you guys very
Gotta
much.
change
Thank
that,
you. We appreciate
change
it.
the vocabulary from steal to borrow.
Yeah.
Thank you, folks. Have a great night.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank your
Good night.
officers.
Thank you, Lou.
Appreciate it. Okay. All right, Cheryl, where are we here? Let me get back on track.
Yeah, we are to appoint a Hodgson Street Advisory Committee.
There we go. Yep. All right, with that. Are there any other citizens' comments tonight before I move on? I see Anton's in the back there. I don't know if you had.
I'm just interested in the Miles Street update. That's all.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, okay, cool. We'll do that. All right. So do we have some folks for the advisory committee for Hodgson Street? Do you have
Yes,
some?
I do.
options? Yeah,
We've got Marilee Harris, Jessica Soroy, and Michael Lee. Jessica and Michael Lee were here tonight.
They're
and
here
I think
this
you guys
evening.
know Marilee Harris.
Yep.
From previous, so
okay.
those three have agreed to be on the committee. It'd be good if we could get 5 to 7,
Sure.
but
We'll start with that and.
start with 3 and 3.
All right.
3 is good. Yep. Jessica Soroy, Michael Lee, and Marilee Harris.
And you need a motion on that, or is it?
Yep,
Yeah.
it's a 2-part motion and
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm bouncing around on here a little bit. I get myself
So
all.
when they meet, they meet here.
yes. Yep, see that?
Oh, yeah, okay. We'll just, yeah, I got you. We'll get this. So we need a motion to create the advisory committee.
Mhm.
So I'll
And
make
it can
a,
be all one motion.
yeah, I'll make a motion to create an advisory committee for the Hodgson Street Drainage Improvement Projects and to appoint Marley Harris, Jessica Soroy, and Mike Lee to said committee.
Go ahead, Mark.
I'll second that.
Should a second, any discussion? All those in favor? All right. Yeah. we get
Since it's a
Lou.
committee, we'll be getting minutes.
They should be following the.
Yeah, because it's the grant,
charter.
so.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
well, it's related to the grant, so if they don't have minutes, they don't get the grant money.
gotcha.
So
Perfect. Yeah.
it should not be an issue at all there.
If there's any questions, we've got, Lee, the one head there, whatever. So
And
awesome.
I'll speak to Anton for the Miles Street update. It's a very small update. We're gonna be patching some of the potholes because potholes are really bad right now there. But right now we're waiting for the permit from the Army Corps, and Andrew Hedrick has the RFP ready to go for the town. So as soon as we get that permit from the Army Corps, we're putting out the RFP and get rolling on the project. You're
Sound
welcome.
good. Yeah, we're excited to get this one done. So it's getting. Thank you, Anton.
Thank you.
Yep. While we're in there on the, Cheryl, did you want to go through your updates? You had municipal parking lot update and your
Yeah.
comments here. I know I apologize. I've bounced around here a little bit. We've got,
Yep, so Matt received the permit from the Army Corps last week. DEP has acknowledged the receipt of our application, which means the review process is going to take up to about 120 days. Wright Pierce has received a letter from FEMA in response to the application that was submitted to them on February 11th. FEMA is requiring quite a bit of additional information that Wright Pierce should be able to provide them. Major glitch, though, is that FEMA is not stating the base height for the base height, for the permanent wall, that it has to be 1% above flood level or 10.2 feet, which is a huge issue since
It's not stating or is stating.
is not stating.
They're not stating,
Yep, he's saying that the base height for the permanent has to be at the 1% flood level or 10.2 feet.
so he is stating that the base height.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Yeah.
That's,
okay, so they've made a,
So it is not.
Yeah.
yeah. And that was a change from the original.
From the original meeting, when
which-
they were meeting, they thought that what
Well,
Wright Pierce was doing, that's what the guidance they had gotten from FEMA.
from FEMA.
And now FEMA is like, not quite. So that's one of the things that I was trying to get Matt and Andrew to follow up on, because I
Yeah,
don't know a lot
Right,
about it.
yeah, there's a lot of moving parts to this, so.
yeah, well, that's a big deal.
You guys paid Wright and Pierce tonight.
What's that? Oh.
We did. Move some stuff along, didn't we? Yeah. So we don't know where the timeline is at all.
No, for the back parking lot, I know.
Parking lot at
Nope,
this point,
Matt
do
was
we?
Matt's going to get the timeline for that tomorrow.
Okay,
He'll be here for a little bit then.
yeah, so we don't know what setback that is at this point.
Nope, right now, we're kind of in a holding pattern.
Is there any money tied to the parking lot that we in jeopardize of losing because of this taking so long?
Not that I'm aware of. I know the EDA grant, Matt thought that the EDA grant wasn't gonna punish us for FEMA changing things in the middle of it.
Okay.
That's
But
good.
we're
Yeah.
kind of at a pause right now. Chase was down there today doing their punch list. So
Yep,
there's a little bit of movement, but
yeah,
not a lot.
yeah, it's disappointing when we get.
So who has looked at
changes.
this new change from FEMA?
I believe Matt Lucas.
And what did he say?
This is him right
his
there.
brief, Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so.
But did he tell you what he's gonna do now, or is he gonna do anything? Or is it gonna be Andy?
It's gonna be Andy. It's gonna
Okay.
be Matt Day from Phi is working with it, and Andrew Hendrick,
Okay,
and then Andy Dorr.
yeah, Andy Doris.
Yeah.
He's on there now.
Just keep pushing.
Yeah, it's just disappointing.
He's walking
when
right
things get
into a
changed.
Oh, yeah.
disaster.
But the reality is,
Yeah.
how are you gonna get this done? Even if it goes ahead and you get all this stuff done, and you still wanna get it done through the winter,
Yeah, I don't see how they're gonna,
you know what I mean?
Well, we don't even know, yeah, the timeline changes are now for the, right.
Yeah, you can't do it in the summer.
Yep.
Yeah, because we're looking at, even the Army Corps of Engineers, that's 120 days. So acknowledge receipt of the application. And that's separate from this new glitch, right?
yes.
So that application then could take 120 days.
Yep, and that puts us what, into September?
And then that's not even counting any type of redesign or,
Well, it's,
okay.
I think we need to have Andy dive into this right away and give us an assessment of what this all means.
Yeah.
Andy Dorr.
Yeah,
Yep. Oh yeah, his plate
Yeah,
is,
there's a lot of,
stuff is falling all off of his plate.
we told him is he in tonight? I didn't see him on didn't come in, but we'll, yeah, we told him he's gonna have a busy
Oh, yes, and
plate.
people have already reached out to schedule meetings with him so that,
But there's a lot to decipher here, a lot of moving parts, because it's hard to figure what needs to move first to get things moving
Right,
along.
but as long as the money is still there
Mm.
and we keep moving, but the reality is you may want to bid on this like December,
Although
January, because
the money's gonna be there, but it's not gonna be the amount that we
then you.
need it.
I know.
The longer we go out, so, okay.
But I've always said right along that you want to bid on stuff January and February.
Yeah,
And here we are looking at bidding on stuff in the middle of the summer.
yeah.
That's the
It's a-
worst
it's a
time to
hard-
bid on.
Hard time of year, yeah.
Yeah.
So I would assume when Andy gets on board, and we're gonna have to probably have a Wright Pierce come back
Yep.
in.
oh, most
And-
definitely.
And because I know we have the board, we all have questions. There's a lot of moving parts here, so. So we'll at least let him get his
Get through
feet in the
Monday, but
door first
Tuesday,
here,
hammer.
but,
yeah.
yeah.
Before you-
Yeah, no, maybe a couple of days. we'll let him-
The good thing is
We
he's been
forgot-
involved with all of these emails, so he's been
Right.
CC'd on a lot of them, so he's not coming in blind. He will be able to come in
Oh,
and,
that's too bad. I thought we'd shock him a little.
Surprise.
Yeah,
Shock it off.
And we got you.
that's right,
So,
cheer
you know-
fingers, just look, be happy, it's fine.
So, yeah, so it sounds like, yeah, maybe even soon as we can, if he wants to have a joint, even have a special select board meeting or
Yep,
something, or a
like a
joint
workshop.
meeting.
And
Workshop,
Because-
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
we don't want to wait till our next meeting is the town, we can't do it then.
no,
For the
Yeah.
annual town meeting, so if there's something we need to get moving on and have a workshop.
yep, I
or
would
something.
suggest a workshop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That way it'd just be a round
So-
table discussion.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, we'll get Jan and whoever we need, from engineers, whoever we need involved, but it's something we need to, and we all have a lot of questions in it, so, okay.
All right.
Good news, let's give us.
Yes. We have filled the planner position.
Mhm.
Oh, that's good news.
Yep,
huh?
Isabel Exley. Is that how you say it?
Exley, yeah.
Exley, yes.
Exley.
Her first day is gonna be July 5th. She'll be here. Everybody's very excited. We're gonna be sharing her with Booth Bay Harbor. Right now, she's coming from Gorham. So she's gonna do one day, maybe remote, just to cut down on an hour and a
Yeah.
half travel time, but she wasn't able to join us tonight. She just gave her notice yesterday, so we weren't quite sure if we were gonna be able to announce it, but we're very excited.
Good.
Very
Booth Bay Harbor
qualified.
is very excited.
Very
Yes.
very fortunate to get her.
Yeah, that's great.
That's awesome, yeah.
Yep, she's got great experience.
And we have plenty of work for her.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's great. Yes, we should welcome her aboard from the board here.
Yep.
We get a chance to meet her. So that's awesome. All right. Cheryl, you had,
Oh, and then tonight's my last meeting as interim town manager.
are you requesting a moment of silence?
I think I
your-
was gonna bring tissue because I figured it was gonna be pretty hard for everybody. I mean, poor Josh was so emotional, he couldn't even make it tonight.
I saw a moment of silent celebration. Yep.
Nope, it's a lot of work. It's been hectic the past 6
Oh,
weeks.
yeah.
It's been insane.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Andy being
done a
here and
great-
being able to come in and be like, okay, you're
You've
just
done a
treasurer.
great job. It's great.
Thank
Great
you.
job for
Yeah,
us. all.
Thank you.
job.
There's a lot of balls
Appreciate
moving.
it.
Thank you, guys.
Definitely.
And then official action items, you guys have already done all of those except for, we did not discuss
Good.
Juneteenth.
Yeah, you've got a
Exactly.
couple, before you had one here for a grant though, right? Is it because, we already did
No,
that
yeah.
technology grant. That was the chief. Yeah.
Jason ran wild with that.
So right now with Juneteenth, we've brought this up before, and that's, and now it's a nationally recognized federal holiday.
Yep.
I know the concern we had, it was, last year was, how is this gonna set the town staff in the office? Because the more holidays we have, the less time you guys have to do things, and what is your take on
Yep, I
eventually
know.
people need to work?
Right, yep, and that's why I brought the charts, because the town offers 13 holidays.
Mhm.
The staff doesn't get 13 holidays because of the way that the Fridays fall.
Sure. Yeah.
All of the state offices are gonna be closed for that, so that hinders us. The work is there, it's always gonna be there, it's gonna be there the next day, but Bureau of Motor Vehicles is closed, credit card company is closed, so if you come in and need to register something and we swipe your card, we can't refund you. So you've just gotta
Right.
trust us and let us reswipe your card again. A lot of the other surrounding town offices are closed, I think I included
I think you mentioned
In
there's
the-
a few that were,
mail out, yep, there's several of them are closed, including Booth Bay Harbor, which is who we are sharing our planner with.
Mhm.
And so out of the 13 holidays, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out of 6 years, the most holidays the staff gets is 11 because of the way the work week falls. So we're just asking to follow the federal holidays, the state holidays, just as we have with all the other ones.
It's pretty good. I think we only
Sure.
did like 8.
Hey, we're hiring, we're looking for a tax collector.
Well, I mean, I know that I think we brought this up last year, and at the time it was still kind of,
Yep.
towns
And
weren't
then-
doing much, so we'll,
And for this one, I'll throw in that it's the week after, or it's the Monday after election and town meeting. So your staff has worked on election day, 14 hours, 15 hours, then town meeting is going to be the exact same thing.
right, yeah.
We have been 6 weeks super understaffed. Your staff is exhausted.
We have you.
I know, and
You've been doing it.
I'm ready to run.
So you're just asking for a day off. That's
No,
all it's
no,
like,
I'm just asking us to follow the federal and state holidays like we have
Yeah.
and not to single out this one. If you're going to choose a holiday to single out, I don't think this is the one that.
Well, we'll move it along. I'll make a motion to act on Juneteenth holiday.
I just put act because you guys have to decide motion to approve it or deny it. Act,
Yeah.
I've left because I
I'll
didn't
approve
want
it.
to
I'll
leave
make a
it.
motion to approve it.
Thank you.
Second.
Tom seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor? Yep, that's 4 of us. It
Yep.
carries. All right.
No action
I think
needed.
we got it all there, Cheryl. Is that all the?
We did.
Yep. And now, so Andy Dorr is coming on Monday.
Yep.
Right? His
He will
first
be
day
here
Monday, so
Monday.
we'll welcome him ahead of time from the board, and we're looking forward to him coming on board. And so your tenure as interim.
Yep, I'm
Town
burning
manager
this
is-
town manager hat when I walk out of this
Yeah,
building
done,
Thursday.
Done, everything's done, so.
You got a good resume now.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
you're moving up. You're
Yep.
gonna take on,
But I don't need a resume because here I am.
right?
That's right.
But if the town manager runs on us, you're right there.
Yep.
As a temporary Band-Aid again. Yes, absolutely.
Selectmen's discussion items this evening. We'll start. Tom, do you have anything on?
Yeah,
your end? Yep.
Matt had previously requested of the Chamber of Commerce to change their business after hours meetings to not conflict with the Selectmen board meetings. So beginning in January, the business after hours meetings will be the second Wednesday of the month.
Okay.
Beginning in January.
Yeah.
Second Wednesday, great.
All right.
That'd be good.
Sounds good. Mark, anything this evening?
I'm just gonna share, now, we've been talking about solar with the school, and the last time we talked as a board, everybody was interested in looking at that closer, because if we could come up with maybe some room on our town landfill, that would help us at school with our cost, and knowing Damascotta is larger percentage-wise there. So I've been looking at this with a gentleman from Revision, looking at it, and Cheryl's been a great help providing documents and what have you. So what I wanted her to do is just to share these with you.
Okay.
Maybe you want to share.
Yep.
Share.
Pass them around, Tom.
And I folded it over because I just wanted to show the area that the lease is with is actually everything that's outlined in the blue. With the drawing in the very back, those are the property lines you'll see for the full 10 acres or 10 point something. So basically what was done was they were giving, Sundog was actually giving a lease for that whole area. So if you look at the line that I drove through here, the red line,
Yeah.
everything to the right-hand side of that, that's where the panels is right now for the town of Damascotta. And then actually, you could actually probably put another row in that there. That's just a rough sketch of where that is. So, but what we did though, is we gave them this lease on this whole piece. So we're kind of handcuffed to just using them, which is unfortunate.
And this
Because-
is to Sundog, right? That's who we.
To Sundog.
Yeah.
So even when the town wants to go ahead and expand, they're kind of hooked into them right now, the way it is. If you look at the number of units that we have out there that the town is currently using, it is 176 modulars out there that the town uses that Sundog installed. The school is looking for approximately 575 of those to offset the school cost. So there is room out there, and then still allowing for room for the town to expand onto something. What would be nice is if the town could approach Sundog and see if they would like to take part in this, but the town would like to be able to put this out to bid and use that land that we've already leased to them.
How long is that lease for?
I think it's 25 years.
They usually
Quite a
long
while.
leases, yeah.
But if they say no, it kind of puts you at a disadvantage. Do we really want to do business with them, or do we want to look somewhere else in town? So the potential is there that they could actually pick up another good size or real big job to it. And I guess the reason I put this all together is I just want to keep talking about this so that we can figure out how we approach this. I know that when I talked to the facilities committee at school, doing something like this, we definitely would like to have 2 companies bidding on it rather than just one. And I think that's the approach that somehow we need to work together to see if we can open up those discussions with Sundog. How we go about it?
Another project for Andrew. Get up to speed on.
They, is just question here, it was Sundog. Has there ever been any discussion about expanding the arrays down the roadways or
aware
anything? I
of.
mean, because right now we've got them
I haven't been-
sufficient for, but you haven't heard anything. or
Yeah, I haven't been
something?
involved
Yeah.
with the solar at all.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But we are now paying higher bills because we don't have enough credits.
Yep, we just got another bill for the restroom and the electric charging station, $600 for an electric bill. So the solar's not covering it.
Right, yeah.
So maybe there's something we can work together to even get the town a few more panels to help offset that.
Right.
At the same
yeah, I was
time,
thinking if there was-
and I think it's a great project that could be worked together between the town of Damascotta and the school to save everybody some money. And
Well, this property right now is not being, it's not being fully utilized.
not at all.
And it can't be utilized for anything where it's on the landfill. I mean, it's not a,
Exactly.
it's, yeah, I mean, what do we use it for, right? It's not really
But the issue is though, is it was overlooked. It was smart on Sundog's part because they tied up the whole thing, which is smart business, I guess. But I think what we need to do is backtrack a little bit and say, hey, do you want to work with us? We feel this is important that you work with us here. And we change where this line's going to be that we're leasing to you, because the town of Damascotta will never use that amount of room. And it still opens up that area for the taxpayer to save money by working with the school. And this is all
Oh, it's
discussion. I'm
definitely
just trying to keep
Right, yeah,
keep this
yeah.
moving.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely, it's worth looking into and having that, that conversation with Sundog starting out. Because there you go, we'll give that,
I mean-
Andy some more stuff to do.
But that's quite a difference
Yeah.
in the number of units that are out there. There's
Yeah, but- yeah,
But
176.
also Isabel can help in this too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
new
yeah,
planner.
There's some forward planning stuff to look into, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, because, yeah,
She's
if we're
done
not,
solar.
utilizing the space and there's options to, it's definitely worth looking
Yeah,
into.
she's got
Yeah.
experience with solar.
And then the other
Oh.
thing is, I'll share with you out there is, and I was on the board before when we had to do this, is put that out to bid to fill in some low spots, because the DEP wants to make sure that you're always filling that up so water doesn't set into that. There is some of that out there right now that we need to look at to
Some
do
settling.
that. So it'd be nice to kind of pull them all together and do this all at one time, because eventually the DEP is going to come out there and say, okay, you guys got to step up and make sure you do what's on your,
Gotcha. Yeah. the dual
Yeah.
landfill, yeah.
but I did see a spot out there that needs to be fixed.
So switching gears a little bit, I heard
Thank
you
you, Mark.
talking with the chief a little bit about the school after the shooting in Texas. So what's going on with the school here as far as crossing Ts and checking?
Basically, it's, we've had the trainings that we do. It's just basically what we're doing. When I was talking to the chief was to make sure that we're all on the same page with keys in the building.
So is a procedure to lock the door when the kids come in and?
Yes, and what we've done is actually taking a lot, when we've already done this way before this, is all the locks, we used to have doors on all the locks. So what we do now is took them all out except for 4 main doors. So those are the green doors in the school, and everybody has to go through those. So by taking those locks away, is taking that away. So now it's just making sure that all the doors, are closed properly.
Who does that? Is there, does the police show up to do that every day?
No, we have a crew there that
Oh,
make sure that's done, and teachers too, doing that. So, I think what this does just makes you aware that, you want to stay on top of your A game. It's
Yeah.
things that we do, and it's easy to slack off a little bit because here we are in Little Maine,
Everybody's
but
on the same page.
what it
Yeah,
does
but there've
makes
been
you,
12 threats after that
Yeah.
shooting around the country. So.
Yeah.
yeah. So I think, we just got to keep on top of it. And there's actually a training coming up that the DOE is putting on, and they had this plan before this. That I was going to talk to the chief about going, because I would like to go to it and just keep on top of that stuff.
Thank you, Mark. Yeah. Thank you for putting this together and looking into it. We appreciate it. I think it's a worthwhile, something to, especially if you have something underutilized and could be
Yeah.
taken advantage of for other purposes or for
Yeah.
offset costs somewhere or whatever. It's
I
definitely
just
worth
really
looking
wanted you
into,
to get a
so.
feel for how much we're
Yeah.
actually using compared to what.
Want to sign these?
Yeah, we'll start signing them, Tom. I just grabbed one of them here, so. Thank you. I have nothing to add tonight. Thank Cheryl again and Matt for all his, I forgot about Lou over there. Thank you. Yeah. Lou, would you like to say something? I forgot about you.
The only thing is to thank Cheryl for the great job she's done.
Thank you.
We didn't get her a paddle, but.
I'll order
So-
mine.
Look at Tyler.
Oh, thank you. With that, do I hear,
Can I
Those
just
are all signed.
do?
yeah, absolutely. You've got some add-ons, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
Chamber sent us a thank you for the ARPA funds, so I just wanted to relay those to you guys, that the chamber appreciates the funds.
Oh, great.
Our
Yep.
next Board of Selectmen meeting will be at the Great Salt Bay School, because it's also going to be the annual town meeting. We
Yep.
will have a brief 30-minute meeting or a few minute meeting that we have to have a public hearing for capacity. Should just take
Oh,
a
right,
couple of
for
minutes.
capacity for
Yeah,
their,
it's no cost to the town or anything, so I don't expect a lot of questions, but we will be there for that meeting. And people, ballots are taking you 30 minutes. Absentee vote or come with your patients.
yeah, there's a big ballot.
Yeah, there's 9 of them. It took Lorraine
So
almost
I-
25 minutes.
I filled mine out. Why don't I just bring it to the office?
Yep, you can bring it to the office. You can drop it in our drop box out here,
I thought you had to sign it or something.
on the back of the envelope you
Oh,
do.
You guys have to sign it.
We have to sign it once we've got it in. We check it
Oh, all right,
in
okay.
and then we compare your signature to make sure you're the one
All
that voted it. And
All right.
yeah, we'll have a 5:30 normal scheduled Board of Selectmen meeting. And then 6 o'clock we'll go right into, yep. Yep, and at 6 o'clock we'll go right into the annual town meeting. And you can
Try to
skip
keep the
that
meeting
one, 'cause it's
short.
gonna be literally payroll warrants and that's it. So I wouldn't bother.
We'll have 10 people there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a good crowd, so. All right, that it? Nothing else?
That's
Yeah. Lou, we just need a signature on one warrant here
Okay.
from
Yep.
Lou for AP 66. So Lou, if you get a chance, we'll get it over to you or something. I know you're home.
How about if I stop in tomorrow, Cheryl?
Yeah, if you're clear to stop in tomorrow, that's fine. Yep.
Okay.
Sounds good. All right. Any motions?
Motion
Make
to
a motion,
adjourn.
we adjourn.
All right, yeah.
Second.
Second? Mark seconds. Discussion? All those in favor?
Good night, all.
We're out.
night, Louis.
Well, Cheryl,
Yes,
I won't stop in tomorrow. I'm quarantined.
I was thinking
I was
that, but
thinking-
that's fine. Yep. I'll hold them
That's
off
the
to the
one.
side.
Yeah, I
need to
want to make
sign
sure I
that,
didn't sign it. 'cause I
Thanks,
have
Lou.
stories.
Yep.
No, Lou's just.